The founder of Panera Bread left in 2018 to escape short-term private equity thinking. 6 years later, he's the lead investor in a brand that's eating Panera's lunch. Not a coincidence. Hi, I'm Allison, and if you're new here, I work with leadership teams and boards on customer equity, AI, and value creation. Today, Panera is our case study in what happens when a company stops captivating customers and starts managing to the margins instead. Panera had a powerful but simple promise: fresh baked bread, daily, fresh ingredients. And it wasn't just about the food, it was an experience where you would slow down and eat something real. They found this gap between cheap fast food and sit-down table service that essentially pioneered the fast casual category. They scaled it, they IPO'd it, they became number one, and then in July of 2017, JAB Holdings acquired them. 6 months later, founder Ron Shash stepped down and publicly cited concerns about conscious capitalism and the desire to move away from short-term thinking. Now, founders matter. When decisions get hard, they honor principles that protect employees and customers. But private equity firms operate differently. JAB owned a portfolio of donut and coffee brands. They use the same playbook everywhere: efficiency, margin optimization, cost extraction. And they always start at the edges, testing whether customers will notice. And the customers did. Portion sizes shrank, protein disappeared off sandwiches, good greens became iceberg lettuce, and at the same time, the menu exploded with new items, which crushed labor costs. Then came the energy drinks, which were equivalent to 6 shots of espresso in one drink and landed Panera in several wrongful death lawsuits. And then they finally touched the brand covenant itself: the fresh baked bread, the facilities that built this company. They started to shut them down and replace it with frozen dough, par-baked in store, so that they could still technically say fresh baked. But that's not what the customers signed up for. It was even worse for franchisees. Margins were already razor thin at 5 to 6% before labor costs. And as those costs rose, the math just stopped working. One franchisee owner ended up with $10 million in debt. But corporate's response was, hey, you got to stick to the contract. And they just pushed and enforced their contracts instead of creating a partnership. So last year, customers delivered a verdict: a $400 million loss that no price increase could cover up. It's the classic PE trap, where we optimize for margin and extraction instead of optimizing for customers who drive value and brand loyalty. Now, the current CEO has suggested a 3-year transformational fix called Panera Rise: better menu, more value, more stores, more staff. But personally, I think the ship is already taking on a lot of water and you cannot bail it with a bucket, especially now, because while Panera was alienating its core customers, Cava was quietly winning them over. Fresh ingredients, clean menu, loyal following, and the lead investor at Cava, Ron Shash, the founder who left Panera to escape short-term thinking. His firm, Act 3 Holdings, is an evergreen fund, which means they don't have a hard exit date, there's no hurdle rate pressure, and they're basically doing long-term holds where the returns get reinvested, and that makes the compounding do all the work. I think that sounds an awful lot like sustainable, customer-centric businesses now backed by private equity. So you go, Ron. That seems like almost friendly, good private equity. And what do you think? Is there such a thing as good private equity? Do you think Panera can turn it around? Comment below or DM me here.